And I'm Paul.
And this is Adventures in Eating.
And today really is an adventure because today we've completely bypassed the grocery store. In the past we've gone to grocery stores for everything we've shown you. Not always a Canadian grocery store, but today we didn't go to the grocery store at all. Where did we go?
We went to our backyard.
That's right. And what did we get out of our backyard? Well, we got something that most people probably don't even think about, never mind think about, as a food source. What are these, David?
Ordinary garden snails.
That's right. And it's a nice hot summertime here where we live in southwestern BC. And so these guys have been estivating. Estivating is the same as hibernating, but it's summertime. And so they all tuck into their shell until it gets cold and wet. And that's how we got these three guys to come out of here. We just got them in some cool water. The other guys will head out of there soon enough. But these guys are the lucky ones. Mm-hmm. Where are the ones that aren't so lucky?
They're in our kitchen in a little, box.
A little plastic cage, right? And we've had them for a little bit more than a month, and we've been feeding them cornmeal and what else?
Cucumber and lettuce and
melon. Yeah. And then for the last day or so, they've been what we call purging, which basically means they don't get anything to eat. And we're going to show you the step-by-step on how to eat these guys. Now, these aren't the same exact snails that you get in a restaurant. These are smaller, but I don't think there's any reason why we can't eat them, and I guess we're going to find out, aren't we?
These ones are wrestling.
They're wrestling, yeah. These ones are the happy ones because we're going to let them go afterwards. They're just here for sample purposes. Mm-hmm. So, onward.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at the point where the snails are going to get started.
Yeah.
So, shall we take a look at the snails, David?
Sure. So here they are.
Where did we get them?
From our backyard.
Yeah, so they're just regular garden snails, and we're going to give them a little quick rinse. David, you want to go ahead and do that? Just simple, kind of cool water, and put it on the spritzer. And then that just brings them back out of their shell, and it also rinses them. So David, you want to kind of move them around in the water a bit? No, take the actual snails and move them around the water a bit. You can see that some of them are already poking their shells out, because we just did this yesterday. What they do is they tend to rest in between these showers to conserve water, I suppose. We've had these guys now for a few weeks, and we've been feeding them cornmeal, and sometimes we give them lettuce or a little bit of melon. They're pretty interesting little critters, actually. Okay, David, I think you can turn the water off.
They like
and we're going to let them just come out of their shell, and we'll only keep the ones that are still frisky and alive, and we'll show you the next step in a moment. Okay, so it looks like, how many of our snails are alive, David?
Most of them.
I think all of them. I just looked, and they're pretty frisky in there. So we could take a look again, and you can see that they're all coming out of their shells, and they start to hightail it. These are pretty fast snails, actually. They've been fed pretty well. Okay, but right now we have to make the next step happen. What's the purpose of this next step?
It's for de-sliming the snails.
Okay, and so what are you mixing together here?
Vinegar. Just normal table salt. And some normal water.
So do you want to put all those things in there and give it a stir for us, please?
So I just pour it all in?
Yes, sir. Okay, and give it a stir. It all dissolves in there. And we're going to put the snails in there, but we'll do that off camera. We know some people won't want to see that. I don't know whether or not they will survive that part of it. The next thing will come back later on. This is going to take us a few hours, and when we come back next, it'll be to do the initial cook of them, and then we do a shell removal and then a longer cook. Okay? See you next time. All right. So those are our snails that we de-slimed with, what was it again?
Vinegar, normal table salt, and
water.
And water.
And so they sat in there for a couple of hours, and we changed the water and did it twice. We just showed you the one time. And now what are we doing with them?
We are going to cookify them, I think.
That's right. Well, these are just going in for about 10 minutes into some boiling water. We're doing it outside because it's really hot out here right now. So this is just the initial cook. We're going to put them in for 10 minutes, and then it's time to take them out of the snail shells. Okay? And I don't think these guys are alive anymore. The sliming process didn't do them any good either. They didn't like that. So they're already dead, and into the water they go. Alright, and we'll set the timer for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we'll call you back and show you what we do after that. Okay, so our snails have been boiling for their initial 10 minutes. And this is not for them to be finished cooking. This is just now time for them to be put into the... I've turned the fire off so I can do this. For them to be put into the ice water. And you can take a look, camera mom. And they're just pretty raggedy looking. They're still in their shells. I'm going to put them in here, and then David's going to put them into the ice water. So David, carefully put them in the ice water, please. And the ice bath will just help them cool down real rapidly. And then we're going to take them over the table. I'm going to bring them over.
Sure.
And we're going to introduce our guest star. This is Kieran. Hey Kieran, how's it going?
Good.
Now Kieran, how do you feel about eating garden snails?
I'm kind of nervous.
Kind of nervous? Do you think that you might want to just help make them, or do you think you might actually help eat them?
Maybe help eat them, I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Well, we'll see later on. David, you think you're ready to try eating them? Are you going to eat them for sure?
As ready as I'll ever be.
And ready as you'll ever be. Okay, great. So, what we're going to try to do, and I don't know how well it'll work, is try to take these guys out. And I think, can I see one of those bamboo skewers? There's one for each of us. And if necessary, we'll crack them. But let me just see if I can get one out without it. Oh, you know what I need? David, there's a bowl there. Would you get that little bowl there, please? That little ramekin?
This one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Now this thing here is not... I don't know if it's going to come out or not. I don't want to rip them and tear them because then they'll be in little tiny chunks.
Kieran, just so you know, this is not going to be a pretty sight.
Oh, looking promising. Dun, da, da, da. Oh, I think I can get him out most of the way. And then keep reaching in there and pull him out. There he is. What do you think, Kieran?
Looks pretty gross.
It looks, you know what it looks like to me? It looks pretty much like you would see a mussel out of a shell. You know what I mean, David? Just a smaller version. So you guys want to try doing one?
Sure.
We'll just watch a couple of them and then we'll do the rest off camera. Try it out. And
I apologize for anybody that fell in the middle of this video.
Reach deep.
It's like stuck in there.
Yeah, they're in deep. So reach down inside, and if you can't get it out, we'll break it out. There he goes.
I got it.
So you just got to reach deep down inside, and then he comes out. There he is. And into the bowl.
See, you've like gutted stuff before, like fish.
So go straight down deep inside. You gotta, don't be afraid to poke her in there. He's dead. He's not going to feel anything.
Yeah, I know.
How's it going, David?
Yeah. I can't get mine out.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll stop her there, and I'll continue helping these guys. Oh, you got it, David. You got her going on. Just get it down in further. Reach down inside, like that, and then find them out.
I'm not having
any luck? Okay, well,
yeah.
We'll take a look at this, and we'll figure it out, and then we'll show you what happens next in a moment. I can tell you the next thing we're going to do is we're going to boil this meat for 2 hours or more. They say 4 hours, and we'll see how it looks, and then we'll saute it up and be ready to eat. All right, see you then. Okay, well, we have cleaned all of our snails. You want to show camera mom what they look like, Dave? What do they smell like, David?
Normal meat?
They kind of smell like meat. That's really what they do kind of smell like. There's really nothing terribly unusual about them. If you like clams, they're about the size of a clam, aren't they, David? And they're not much different to look at. Not the most pleasant thing, but if you already like clams, you're not going to find that hard. So now we're in the cooking part. Please don't lean on the table so that we don't knock everything over. That table's wiggly. So we're going to do the cooking part now. It says to do it for 4 hours. I'm afraid that they'll literally fall apart if we do it for 4 hours. So we're going to see what happens after a couple. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our... Let's put our snails in last. So David, why don't you show us what the 2 wet ingredients are that we're going to put in there.
Okay, so we have some red wine.
So you want to pour that right in there? That's Chateau Neuf de Pape. It's about $160 a bottle, right? So, right?
Sure.
Or maybe not. It might be Chateau Neuf de cardboard box. And what's that?
This is Worcestershire sauce.
That's right, exactly. So you want to throw that in there. And then, Kieran, you've got the other stuff. What do you got for us?
I have onions.
Not onions, garlic cloves.
Garlic.
And we're just going to put the whole garlic cloves right in there because we don't want, they're just going to be flavoring the broth. Yeah. And what else do you got?
I got salt and pepper.
Yep, don't tip it. There you go, salt and pepper. All that in there. And last? Remember what it's called? Shallots.
Shallot.
And we just rough cut these guys, and they give great flavor as well. And then, David, you put the last magic ingredient in there, please.
The snails.
Yep, and I'll find the lid somewhere around here. There it is. And the snails are all in there. And there's a lot more broth than there is snails, but we want that to be completely covered. We're going to turn this way down. We're going to let them simmer for a couple of hours, and then we'll come back and see how they look. Okay?
But magically, it'll take about 0.9 seconds.
Okay, great. All right, see you then. Well, it is quite a long ordeal. You can tell if you look out the window that something we started early this afternoon is just now coming to a close. So, it got too dark outside for us to show you how we finished our snails, but what we did is we strained them out of the liquid and picked them out of all the vegetables and broth, and now we've sauteed them in some butter with garlic, pepper, and some chopped up shallot. They're pretty tiny, and honestly, I think the biggest problem is not that they're snails, but I really question people who say they should be cooked for 4 hours, because I think they're going to be really, really, really chewy. But let's find out. Dave, you going to try one?
Yeah.
Kieran, you going to try one? You don't know? Okay, well, David, go ahead and try one.
Okay.
And I'll try one.
I'll just put it on the stick.
Yeah, there we go. Ready? We're going to do ding. Ready? We're going to do our cheers.
1 second. There.
1, 2, 3,
Ding.
cheers.
That is so good.
They're fantastic. They taste, not only do they taste as good as the ones that I've had in restaurants, they're better.
They taste
You
like
agree?
mussels.
They're, well, first of all, they're like chock-a-block with garlic. So they're fantastic. Kieran, you can't convince you to have one?
No. They're
Come
really,
on, bud.
really good.
Try one.
No, I can't.
David? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Would you do this again?
Yeah.
You know, it was a lot of work, but it was actually kind of fun, and it was worth it, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, at the end of the day, we kind of grew attached to our snails, and now we're really attached to our snails because they're part of us. So next time you see garden snails around your yard, rather than just killing them or pouring salt on them, boil them with some salt and wine and other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Kieran? He says, I don't really, you're not convinced, are you?
No.
Well, Kieran, I think we have something, I'm pretty sure your mom brought it. So we have a camera mom, but we also have an ice cream mom. And I'm pretty sure that your mom brought this. We usually, when we do this, we like to have more than one thing to try. So I think we have something that you might be okay with trying. All right? But I understand these are homemade ice cream sandwiches. So let's see this. All right. So thanks, ice cream mom.
You're welcome.
These are not any good at all.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys want to try one of these.
No, thank
There you go. You want? You don't want one? There's snail in it. Alrighty.
Okay.
All right. Take a bite. How are they? David, better or worse than garlicky snails?
They're as good.
As good. What do you think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Awesome. Well, I guess that's it for this time. What do you guys say, David?
Thank you for watching. Thank you, camera mom, and we'll see you next time.
And thank you, ice cream mom.
Yeah, exactly.
See you next time.